just like fist on fist, just like mano y mano.
Ooh, I don't know. Benny could definitely scrap. So you were kind of like you were talking about Benny, and it's weird because Benny was one of the worst offenders around the like mind games, but we also by the time they were like on their way out as a staff, we'd gotten to where he respected. Like
there's a certain level of
group.
respect that you've earned. Yeah. And you're like, I want to hold on to that. Like I've built a connection with this person.
He respected like the core group of walk-ons from our class and gave us certain like privileges and things like that. So as much as he made things kind of difficult, I do have respect for Benny Wiley, and I don't have any ill will towards Benny.
I wouldn't necessarily like think so, but I was just kind of, it was more of like, I mean, that dude's my age. And I think about like the stories I've heard and the videos I've seen and the stories that Logan told me. And I was like he was my age when he was training or whatever it is. Like, I was like, this is just fucking nuts, man. The dude's fucking nuts. It's like, he's like a robot. He's like the Terminator or something. Like,
he's like an action figure, man. He's fucking, does it.
That's intense.
And he is intense. Like when he's talking to you and like, you're like,
is he married?
Yeah, he's married.
Lovely wife, 3 kids.
Yeah. Cute family.
2 twin boys and a daughter.
Oh man. 2 twin boys. It's like 2 mini-me's. You know what I mean? Just grow them up.
No, but there were certain little things that he did. And now that I'm older and a little bit removed, I can kind of see why he did them. Like, I can understand the logic behind it, but I still don't agree with
it's just a very old school way of kind of doing stuff.
For example, we were squatting one day, and that was how I made my bones as a walk-on. To Logan and Eddie's point, I was like...
Trey was a weight room jockey. Like, that was his place.
I was a weight room warrior. Like, if you're better than me at football, I am stronger than you. I'll beat you in drills. You're going to start over me, but like I'm going to compete in here and you're not going to beat me in here.
And also I will say in like film, like Trey was someone who like kept up like throughout the year, like the walk-ons who weren't playing, like we'd be like, you know what, like I'm not going to go to film today. I'm just going to like do the walk-on prep and just kind of like Trey was like into it. Like Trey like kept mentally focused on like the game plan and everything.
It's because I was a communications major, so I didn't have to study as much as Logan did.
Fair enough. I'd run out and be like, I have to get this homework done. I'm sorry.
But, no, like there was a time I can remember very distinctly where there was, we were on the other side of a rack with some offensive linemen and we had more weight on the bar than they did. And like the second I got the bar over the hooks, Benny pulled a plate off to put on the bar for the other guys. So that was like his subtle little way of telling me that like, hey, it doesn't matter that you're squatting more than them. Like they just ate food off your plate basically. And like, what are you going to do about it? And there was little things like that I didn't agree with from a methodology standpoint.
Oh, there's the weight vest thing too.
Oh, the weight vest thing. Yeah. So we had these yellow weight vests that we would work out in, and they would say, hey, everybody go grab a vest. And so we all ran over to this wall where they hung up because they had to dry out after we got done and they'd spray them down. But I grabbed a vest, and then he looked at all the scholarship guys that didn't have a vest on, and he would say like, hey, you know, you so-and-so, like you need to go get a vest. And so I'm a freshman, an older guy comes up to me and says, hey, I need your vest. And I was like, okay, whatever. Because they had pretty much already gotten into our heads at this point, like, hey, you're here to serve the team, like, you know. So I took the vest off and gave it to him. And then Benny comes over to me and he goes, hey, you better find a freaking vest before the end of the workout. If you don't have one by the end of the workout, like, you're going to be doing up downs. I was like, shit. So I think I was I said I was a sophomore at this point. So I think it was summer headed into sophomore year, because there had just gotten a group of guys on campus that were younger than us. So I asked one of the freshman scholarship linebackers, I was like, hey man, let me get that vest. And he goes, okay, and starts to take it off, and Benny comes out of nowhere. He's like, don't give him your vest. And just starts like berating this kid. So the kid, you know, straps his vest back up and he's like, yeah, fuck you, man. So I went to like one of the other young guys and I was like, hey, let me get that vest. Well, he saw what just happened to the other kid. And he's like, fuck you, bro. And he's like trying to square up with me. And I was like, all right. The whole time Benny's like coming over and like, hey, you better find a vest. So I was like, shit, okay, well, clearly this is a no-win. So we get to the end of the workout, and he uses that as like a teaching moment. So he goes, you can see, who cares by who's got a vest on right now. And, we had my man over here looking for vests. And points to me, and he goes, Kenny Vaccaro, did he ask you for your vest? And Kenny Vaccaro says, no. He goes, Alex Okafor, did he ask you for your vest? And he's like, fuck no. And he goes, so you see who this guy asked for vests. He didn't ask the dudes. So if he asked you for your vest, he thinks you're a punk.
Oh my God.
And so I have to go sit in a meeting room with these young guys that I asked for their vests, and I only asked them because they're younger than me.
Yeah.
It was like a very small group of people. And then I have to go sit in the room with those dudes after, a big show was just made of the fact that, clearly I think they're a punk because I asked them. So it was like little shit like that.
That's just so fucked.
I don't know. That's some genius
I remember the
level,
mind games of
like-
being like, I don't know what to do.
It's either that, like it's either genius. It's like Kanye West. It's either genius or it's madness. Like
It's
he had
some
no idea
Kaiser-
what he was like. He didn't know he was letting loose. He's just like
some Kaiser Soze shit, man.
You know what I mean?
Just